Ruthann, you're going to want to stay tuned into Talk CDL today.
I am. Tell me why. Tell me.
No, seriously, I have some interesting stuff that's honest. I really believe some stuff that's kind of, it seems like everything that the trucking industry goes through and changes, it seems like it's never like a really good thing. And this stuff that I have today is really not a good thing. It's really not. I mean, it's. I'll tell you, there's a trucking company that is investing in 500 autonomous trucks, which I got to be honest with you, when you hear the type of autonomous trucks that they're going to be using, I don't even know how they'll get 500 drivers to do this. I'm dead serious. Like, I personally would not be a part of this kind of autonomous trucking.
Well, I can't wait to hear why.
Exactly. And then also an interesting story that I met I didn't meet a company. I know this one company that I talked to a lot. Had some really, they were involved in an accident this week that the braking system caused. And so, a lot of drivers are always talking about this braking system. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this trucking company, and then we're going to see what the word of the day is, and hopefully we have a good podcast, right?
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, so first we're going to mention a sponsor, National Carriers. Drivers, if you're looking for a job and you want to be over the road or regional, if you want company or you want lease purchase, call National Carriers. They have nothing but them beautiful Kenworth T680s, 888-311-7076. That's 888-311-7076. Ruthann.
Troy.
So, gosh, I don't even know where to start. I got to be honest with you. I don't know where to start with this.
Start at the beginning. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, I know. I never start at the beginning. But I'm like one of those movies where they start like...
He jumps everywhere.
15 minutes into the movie. 15 minutes into the movie, they say...
It's a flashback.
They say 20 years ago.
No, remember the movie... what one is it? It's the one where Woody Harrelson is in it.
Natural Born Killers?
Yes.
Oh, really? You. So I was right on with that
one?
Okay.
Well, remember how they start? They start at like the beginning in this one scene. Is it Natural Born Killers?
I don't know. Is it the one with Juliette Lewis? Where they're just killing people and they're high through the whole movie? Yeah, in the very beginning, they're in this restaurant, like a little diner. Oh, no, that's Pulp Fiction.
Is that Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, but they were actually came.
Woody Harrelson in that one.
No, Woody Harrelson's not in that. That was Uma Thurman, John Travolta. Well, let me just say this. In the beginning of Pulp Fiction, they're in the movies, and they're English, and they're sitting in a restaurant, and they're talking, and then they go, "You ready to do this?" And then they rob the restaurant.
Yeah.
That's Pulp Fiction.
Okay, well, who's the one with them doing it? It's Woody Harrelson, and it's that one lady.
It's not Woody Harrelson.
It's Boo-Boo, or whatever she calls him.
It's not Woody Harrelson. He's an English actor.
Okay. So anyways, they start there, but then it jumps really bad to another scene, and then it jumps back, and you're actually confused in the beginning.
Pulp Fiction goes way back and forth.
Yeah. So that's you. You're my little pulpy person.
Yeah. And you're not confusing either, are you?
No.
You just put Woody Harrelson in Pulp Fiction.
Well, you know what? I'm going to figure out who that is. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah. So... So I don't even know where the heck I was at. So, okay, autonomous.
These trucks.
Okay, now check this out. I'm just going to read this little article real quick. Okay, Oklahoma carrier to implement autonomous vehicles. Now check this out. Stevens Trucking, not to be confused with the big Stevens Transport or whatever they are in Dallas. Okay, this is Stevens Trucking in Oklahoma. It says Stevens Trucking and autonomous truck developer Locomotion. So Locomotion is teamed up with Stevens. They're partnering to deploy up to 500 trucks in Oklahoma City. The trucks will be used in convoys where one driver manually drives a lead truck while the autonomous truck follows. Did you even hear that? I know you did.
Lead a truck with the autonomous truck following.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. It's actually, I remember probably about 6 years ago when Autonomous was introduced, and they were doing what's called spooning. Yeah, exactly, spooning, like two guys in a Volvo. Just kidding. No, seriously.
Volvos are not a bad truck.
I'm just kidding around. Volvos, we like Volvos, And I shouldn't say two guys. It really didn't right.
No, it didn't. So let's move past this section of the clip.
But that's the joke. That's the joke. No, that is the joke. Seriously, you know that people make jokes about Volvo. They make jokes about Swift. Mm-hmm. It's just fun. They're just doing it. But anyways, okay. So they introduced spooning, right? Mm-hmm. Where one truck is controlling the truck behind it. Okay. So
you need more than one driver because you have to piggyback a truck.
Yes. Listen, I'm telling you, seriously.
It's like a choo-choo train.
Yeah. So here's the bottom line. Okay. Let me read more because this is actually shocking. I bet there's a lot of people that haven't heard of this type of autonomous vehicles.
Okay.
It says, I'll read this part again. Autonomous trucking company Locomotion has a new 8-year agreement with Stevens Trucking to optimize autonomous vehicles routes near Oklahoma City in anticipation of Stevens deploying self-driving trucks on 6-lane segments by the end of 2023. Stevens plans to deploy up to 500 trucks equipped with Locomotion's Autonomous Relay Convoy, or ARC system. Locomotion ARC technology allows one operator to drive 2 tractor trailers simultaneously, okay, by tethering one vehicle to another. The operator manually drives the lead truck while the second truck in the convoy follows the first. As an autonomous vehicle, the second truck will have a driver from Stevens Trucking who will not be expected to work or control the truck, but who will rest in the sleeping berth according to the hours of service regulations, said Seaton Maricilli, co-founder and CEO of Locomotion, during a press conference. Locomotion has similar agreements with Wilson Logistics, Christensen Transportation, and PGT Trucking. PGT believe they are the ones that are the big flatbed company out of Pittsburgh area, I think, out in that, western part of Pennsylvania. I think that's PGT. But anyways, let me say something here. Cecil, or
Cecil.
He looks like a Cecil. Seaton, or whatever. However, listen, honestly, they got 500 drivers. Now, let me just get you the concept here for a second. What they just said is you're going to have 2 tractor trailers, one going the same way. They're following each other.
Mm-hmm. It's piggyback.
Not piggybacking.
Convoying.
It's not connected. Like, he's literally, I don't know, maybe 20, 50, 100 feet behind him. Okay? The guy in the front truck is controlling the truck behind him. Okay? That truck is in charge of both trucks. So the guy in the front truck is basically driving 2 trucks. While the driver, I should say the brave driver that's in the truck behind them, his job, while you're in the back truck, your job is to sleep while the guy up front is controlling your truck. Exactly. Do you hear that? That's exactly what.
I don't figure this out, sir. I don't understand the whole concept because
it's called Autonomous Relay Convoy.
Yeah, I understand. I heard it ERC, right?
ARC.
Yeah. ERC is for
or spooning.
What I don't understand is the whole concept of it. First of all, autonomous is you're meaning it's not supposed to be anybody there to drive it, right?
Autonomous means the vehicle's is automatically running under the I would say AI, artificial intelligence.
But what happens if you have one of these really, really smart 4-wheelers that like to slide right in there? So what's going to happen?
And that's a good question.
Because the guy in front can't really see that.
I like that question. Is there room for a car to just,
100 feet's a lot of room.
I don't know how close they are. They may be 20 feet where a car can't get in.
Well, then you're looking for a rear end.
Well, okay, let's start. Let's break this down for everybody.
That's going to be too hard. I think someone that made this up has got a really odd
Okay, so
configuration. By the way, Tim Roth is the one that played in the diner scene.
I told you it wasn't
His name was Pumpkin.
Woody Harrelson.
And Amanda Plummer was the female, and she was Honey Bun.
Yeah, exactly. Woody Harrelson is Natural Born Killers.
Yeah, and I remember that, which was a really, really good movie.
Okay, so let's get back on the track here.
Okay, back there.
All right, so let's start.
Literally a track.
Let's start with the guy that's got nerves of steel. Look, first off, I've never even been one to team while the guy is 5 feet from me driving the truck, right? I've never been. But can you imagine somebody saying to themselves, look, honey, there's a job in the paper. It's with Stevens or PGT, whoever, right? Can you imagine? Just imagine the conversation at home. Oh, look, I don't even have to drive. And my partner won't even be in the truck. He'll be driving the truck from a little button up front while I sleep in the truck behind him. That sounds really safe. Let's apply. Let's apply for that job.
Sure,
Boy, that sounds like
up your life insurance, honey.
Can you imagine them going, wow, that's genius. Those people at Locomotion are genius. We really want to get,
Sign me up, Billy Bob.
I want that deal all day. I'm serious. I'm sitting there going, in my mind, I'm going, you couldn't pay me $10,000 a week to be the guinea pig, okay, over, and I don't care what company you are, Stevens, PGT, what was the other one, Christensen, CHRISTENSEN, Wilson Logistics. I have. That was the one Eugenia actually had signed up with the original. Oh, no, Wilson is the ones I think in Ohio, right?
Hence, I said I don't really know who that is. But Christensen I've heard of many times when I did verifications.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is, what kind of a world are we living in when
you're so stuck on it because it's so crazy? You can't even get your words out, babe.
I'm just trying to get to the point where we get into the mindset of any driver that really would be willing to just go ahead and get in a truck that's being not only operated autonomously, but by the guy that's up. What happens if this is what you got to realize. If the guy up front has a heart attack, right? So you have two risk factors of being in an accident. If the autonomous equipment or the brain chip or the AI, whatever you want to call it, breaks down, that's controlling you, right? Goes haywire. Or if the guy up in the next truck up, something goes haywire. So you have all these these abilities to be in an accident. And then when your hours are up in the sleeper berth, okay, when you're 10 hours or whatever hours that you're driving, 11 hours, right? When that stops, you now trade with the guy, and you're going to be the guy controlling his truck. So their goal is that just like a team. Now listen, just like a team, you literally never stop that truck. Instead of one truck, though, now they'll be able to keep two trucks going as a team, 24/7 driving.
See, that's what I don't understand. I don't understand why the other driver has to be in the autonomous truck. Why can't they just be in the bed of the tractor that's actually being driven?
That's a good question.
Why do they have to be in the back one? I mean, is it just a simple fact of needing two trailers that are 53 foot long? Is that the only purpose of doing it this way?
Listen,
so they could try and move more freight?
Listen, I'm telling you right now, what it comes down to is, that's a great question. Why can't both of them sleep up in the lead truck?
Safer vehicle?
That literally just said he has to be back in the other truck resting. Okay, so why? Why can't you? And the reason being is it's going to be a long time before any truck is allowed to go down the highway, okay, without somebody in it. would be my, because if you get to the point where you don't need think about this now in these autonomous vehicles. If you get to the point where you don't need a trucker inside the vehicle, you don't even need really a cab. You don't need you don't need a steering wheel. You don't need a sleeper. You don't have to build all that stuff. So therefore, it should be a much smaller cab just controlling the trailer.
No, it would look like a yard jockey.
Maybe smaller. I mean, just whatever it looks like, who cares? But the bottom line is they still need somebody in. It's just like an airplane. Most jetliners have been controlled by autopilot for many years now. They just need a monkey in the seat.
Yeah, but
and that's what drivers. We're all becoming monkeys. I mean, really, we're like little monkeys. We're monkeys with a Class A CDL.
Dance monkey, woo woo.
That's exactly what it is. Drive monkey, drive monkey. No, but
new song coming out.
Drive monkey.
All right, who gets the best version? Send us the tapes.
So really, what it comes down to is, are you going to be able to find 500 drivers? Because 500 drivers. Each of those drivers have to be willing to sleep in a moving truck that nobody else is around in. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you have to be, now if something goes wrong, you're sleeping. How much time do you have to wake up and go, wait, let me jump in the seat and brake?
Yeah, and what capabilities is going to be in that truck? How much stuff, as far as if it's autonomous, is it going to have all the regular capabilities that a standard tractor has? Or is it going to have like minimal because it's supposed to be autonomous?
I don't know. Think about this. How many vehicles have recalls all the time? Like, seriously.
Tons.
Like, we have vehicles, new vehicles, and they're always getting recalls. Okay. Don't you think that these autonomous trucks are going to have all of a sudden a couple wrecks and they're going to go, oh, we got a couple recalls. We're losing people or dying. We need a recall.
The armrest of the driver's seat gets in the way when the driver has to quickly get into his seat to push the brakes on before crashing into the vehicle in front of him.
Locomotion's probably going, hey, we never looked at that.
They're smart.
No, but I'm just being serious though. I mean, believe drivers, please. I'm actually beside myself on this podcast. Write to me. Troy
I'm not beside.
Troy at talkcdl.com or Ruthann at talkcdl.com. Write to us and let us know, what are your true thoughts about a vehicle, okay, that's in charge of your vehicle. All you are is you're trolling.
A monkey.
You're the
monkey.
You're the sleep monkey. You get to sleep while the driver that's up in the next truck is controlling your truck. Well, really, autonomous. The truck in front of you really is the one controlling your truck, not the actual driver. But they supposedly think that this technology is really, really good. My question is, what happens when, like you said, Ruthann, you're trolling 20 feet or 10 feet behind, and then all of a sudden it doesn't tell you to brake, and your truck goes through the back of the trailer, and you're just instantly killed because all you are is in a tractor. I cannot see. Now, maybe I'm being like a conspiracy guy, being paranoid. Maybe everybody out there's going, Troy, don't be such a sissy. That's not a big deal. I don't think they are. I think most drivers are probably going, screw that. Who the hell would do that? I would never do that.
Let me give one scenario. Okay, here's the scenario. I'm sleeping in the bunk. You're driving the one in the front, right? We're going down the road.
Right.
We're on now I think they said that it was major interstates, right? Something major, right?
Whatever.
It said something about 6 lane. So let's just say it's on a major 3-lane interstate, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, so as I'm sleeping, right, a car's trying to pass us, right? And as he's passing us, something stupid happens, and he has to quickly get over to avoid a blown tire or something that is now in his way. So he cuts in front of me.
And when you lock the brakes up, the guy in the back truck goes flying through the windshield.
No. Here's the thing. You're already up ahead. He cut between us. I'm dead now because I had to get my brakes, right over him.
I'm looking down here further just to see. I am curious. How close are they trolling? How close is the back truck trolling to the front truck? I mean, are they like right up against each other?
And I don't understand. Like, are they operated to where when you apply your brakes, my brakes are being applied? And the same with the throttle? I mean, is that how it goes? Or
I don't know.
I don't even understand how it's like an RCA or whatever it's called.
Well, here's an actual little hub-to-hub drone follower. Oh, so the back truck's called the drone. Autonomous Relay Convoy. I don't see... I would think, personally, that the truck behind has to be fairly close.
Well, I'm sure it has to be close, but I don't understand. I mean, a standard vehicle is only, 8 feet long?
See, it says, Stevens said he hopes the autonomous truck's ability to operate 20 hours out of the day will allow drivers to make longer trips in shorter time, allowing them to spend more time at home. He also said he hopes the carrier will be able to pass on a portion of any additional revenue it earns. You know what? Did you hear that bullshit? He hopes that the carrier... You hope... So you're delivering 2 trailer loads now. There better be revenue. And as far as hoping, if you're going to even think of getting somebody to do that, I can assure you, you better be willing to pass on a lot of money. I'm going to tell you that right now. I wouldn't come out of, like, I haven't trucked in a while. I wouldn't go trucking for $1 a mile. $10.99, where it all went in my pocket. $10.99 for all miles both trucks do. That would be probably around 6,000 miles a week. That'd be $6,000 in my pocket every week. I would not sign up for that job. I wouldn't. No, you know why? Because the years it's going to take off my life for me worrying. Mm-hmm. I'm a paranoid guy when it comes to that crap. Like I said before on the last podcast, when Ruth Ann would drive, if I heard the engine just go the wrong way, I would be diving through that curtain. Hey, you okay? What's wrong? Didn't I? I mean, what I'm getting at, though, is can you imagine thinking, okay, I sure hope that RoboCop here doesn't break down on me or whatever the hell it's going to be. Absolutely not. And you hope that they'll pass on the savings. Well, I can assure you, we might be a bunch of monkeys driving the trucks right now, but I can assure you, most drivers are a smart enough monkey to demand a lot more money for that kind of risk. I think that's a big risk. What do you think?
I think it's too much of a risk that I would want to take.
I'm going to move on because remains to be seen. If you're a driver that's willing to do that, I want you to write in. And I want you to tell us about it. Just send us a short email if you'd like to be on the show. I would love to bring you on the show if you're very serious that this is what you would do. And personally, I would never. And that's just the way I feel about it. Moving on, Ruth Ann.
Moving on.
Drivers, again, if you're looking for a job and it's a local job, a home every day job, Carter Lumber has about 160 to 180 locations all east of the Mississippi. And they would like you to call them if you have a Class A CDL or a Class B. And if you would go to carterlumber.com/talkcdl, fill out that short form, let them know Talk CDL sent you over there, and go get that local home everyday job, especially with wintertime coming, being out on the road, being up in the mountains, and all that other good stuff. Hook up with Carter Lumber and be home safe every night. carterlumber.com/talkcdl. Ruth Ann, one other sponsor we have, DriveWise. That's DriveWyze. You love when I say that.
It just gets me every time. Every time. Sorry.
I'm going to tell you something. DriveWise is a great company. You just download the app and you're bypassing the scales. And I'm telling you, people literally, I could show these guys, they write in and say, we love DriveWise. Small companies, owner-operators. And you don't have to have a transponder. Just download the app and DriveWise, DriveWyze.com. Check it out. Tell them Talk CDL sent you over there. Moving on, Ruth Ann. We've got a little thing that I came across this week. A company called me. We were talking, and he said, "Hey, Troy, look at your text." And he sent me a. What's wrong?
My computer's about to die.
Is it really?
Yeah. Can I use your cord?
Interesting how chintzy this podcast is set up. How low budget we are. We can only afford one power cord for the computers. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm usually charged.
Yeah. Thanks for forgetting, though. So anyways, I had this company call me and they said, check out your text. I just sent you a picture, right? I won't tell you who the company is. It was a dry van company, I'll tell you that. And they're a fairly decent sized company. And I looked and their trailer was mashed in from the back. Like it was just smashed. Somebody rear-ended him. And then they showed me the picture of it looked like a W900 that just literally tagged them right up the gazoo. I mean, just smashed rear end. But that's typical, of like, say, a driver that's maybe texting and driving, but that wasn't the case. They even admitted, he said, you wouldn't believe this. He said the automatic braking system on the truck. Now this is alleged. This is allegedly, it was a Freightliner. Okay. They have automatic braking systems on all the trucks now, just like our cars have them. You know what I mean?
Crazy little things.
We'll talk about that in a second. So he told me, he said, the truck, they were changing lanes, right? And the truck automatically locked the brakes up, even to the fact that after the accident, they still couldn't get the brakes off.
Really?
Yeah. So they are going to be going after whoever built these brakes because it wasn't driver error. It wasn't the guy it just all happened at an instant, right? To where the truck thought something was in front of them.
That happens.
And this company has dash cam video to prove that there was nothing in front of them that should have made this truck lock up. And obviously the truck didn't have hardly any freight. I think he was actually empty, right? And the guy behind him swerved because what happened was he came over, he cut over, nothing major, wasn't like just whipping over. He put his turn signal on, came over, right? And then I think that the reason he had, I don't know why he came over, but the Kenworth apparently was behind him, and all of a sudden the rig from this company, the brakes just locked up, and boom, they get rear-ended. Now, this is all alleged, okay? I'm not going to pick on Freightliner or anybody like that, but I've been hearing this all the time from drivers. I have drivers calling me and they're saying, listen, why don't you do a podcast on these braking systems? Because I've had bridges. I'll be going under a bridge and my brakes just all of a sudden lock up. I'll be passing somebody and then all of a sudden my brakes lock up. It's almost like it sees a shadow and my brakes lock up. And my question is, what's going to happen in the winter when you're in snow?
Ice.
And your brakes lock. Listen, your brakes are your enemy in slippery weather. Your brakes are your enemy in slippery weather. You hit them brakes too hard in snow or ice, you're jackknifing. Mm-hmm. So my question is, are these brakes causing more accidents, whether it be Freightliner, Kenworth, Peterbilt, whoever, okay? Are these brakes causing accidents? Apparently this guy's not a liar. He's actually a really nice, honest guy. So I'm just wondering, in fact, I've had drivers, that I've talked to tell me they will not go to a company that it's like some kind of brake mitigation system, okay, where it decides, supposedly, it like computes 30 objects at a time or something like that, and it picks out what it might be the most dangerous, and then it acts according to that. Now, our vehicles, we have Hondas. How many times, you have a Honda Passport, okay? Mine's just a stripped down version, but you have the Passport with it's loaded up. How many times have your brakes all of a sudden hard brake, not
often.
Not just a little soft brake. I'm talking and you're going, it's happened to me 2 or 3 times while I was driving your vehicle. I went, wow, that's crazy. I'm glad it wasn't raining, or I'm glad we weren't on snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's done it where I was in a construction area in Tampa, and I was going, it was like not 75, but something, equivalent of that kind of highway. I was going around a turn with Becca going somewhere, and as I was going around the turn, it decided it was going to brake. And it wasn't like the construction, it wasn't like major construction area, but there was like a little bit of where it was, you could see that they were doing some form of construction not far from there. So I don't know what it is. the cameras, there's like 3 cameras in the front of the car in the headlight area, or not headlight, but the rearview mirror area. It's a big box, and there's like 3 cameras in there. And one of them is for the lanes. There's another one that it detects the lights so that my headlights come high and low beam by itself. But the other ones are for strictly the lanes. And I don't know if one's supposed to follow the yellow and one's supposed to follow the dotted. And if there's any break in that in a form where, from construction or anything like that, it will automatically throw the brakes on. I mean, it did it just going on an on-ramp where the brakes go on, and it's like it's a hard stomp. It's like I'm braking really hard and I'm not.
Well, I would tell you, in my serious opinion, that the automatic braking system is probably one of the worst ideas. I really believe that. Now, I know it's probably a good idea when, maybe you got some dummy driver that is coming down the road texting, and he's looking down, and all of a sudden, that brake system starts braking. You look up in time to where now you can avoid, hopefully, any kind of a collision because of it. I'm sure that it's actually done good. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, mine will still, like my braking, it will go and do a notification. Was it like we have it like 5 feet out or something like that? It will give like some kind of, it will give like a beeping.
Well, no, it's like,
go brake.
Right.
But
yeah.
The closer you get, if you get closer, it will put the brakes on.
Yeah. No, I understand that. That's ours is, you can mechanically, you can set ours by hand, mm-hmm. but I would imagine the ones that are coming through on the tractor trailers are already preset by the factory to where they deem this is when it needs to start braking. I just think that it's doing a lot of bad also, and then they really need to take a look at this, and not just the tractor trailers or the semi trucks, but also the car manufacturers. Everybody needs to really, it's all in trial and error right now. And just being totally honest, it sounds to me like it's going to cause a lot of, I think it's going to cause a lot of accidents in the slippery weather. And that's really what I wanted to bring up on that. That's really all I got on that. I don't like it. I don't know if I was driving again, would I want that? Just like I wouldn't want to have an autonomous truck controlling me while I'm sleeping. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I sure wouldn't want a braking system that is literally you're going under a bridge and it's hitting the brakes, or you're going, right. You know what I mean, somewhere and it just automatically thinks something's in front of you. That to me is that's scary.
No, I agree. I agree. I wouldn't want that either.
Okay, moving on. Moving on. Our last sponsor of the day, Camion's break-even calculator by LoadSmart. Mm-hmm. And that is such a great tool. It's almost like they brought this on almost knowing, you know what I mean? It's like they must have had some kind of foresight, because they brought this break-even calculator out prior to the fuel going crazy. Mm-hmm. So, but it's a good thing, a blessing that Camion brought this out. It's a free download, mm-hmm. and it will calculate, the way you're running. It'll help you utilize and make the most out of your dollar and save you some money. And that's free. So download the free break-even calculator. Then you go to camion.io/TalkCDL. I'm going to spell it KAMION as in Nancy .io/TalkCDL. Download the free download today. What do you think of that?
I think it's a great app.
So here's a little article I wanted to read, just kind of like a little bonus plan. Texas trucker sentenced to prison for transporting 98 people in sealed reefer trailer. I have not looked at this article yet, but I wanted to read it, and it's going to be fresh to the drivers and fresh to me all at the same time. So what I'm getting at is for all you drivers out there that are considering transporting illegals coming across the border, human people, okay, putting them in your trailer and thinking you're going to get rich on the one-time feed. Seriously, crime is for dummies. I'm going to tell you that right now, because when you get caught, first off, it's a lifetime CDL suspension. You can never, ever legally get a CDL in the United States ever again. So if you do get caught doing that. So let's see what he got sentenced to together. It says a Texas-based truck driver was sentenced, and he's from Texas, to federal prison this week after pleading guilty to human smuggling charges. You're looking at me like...
I'm just interested in the article.
Oh, I'm sorry. I very am too. So it says on October 5th, what are we in? October 8th. So just 3 days ago, this guy was, his name is Cornelius Brown. He's 46. He was sentenced to 41 months in prison, immediately to be followed by 3 years of supervised release. And to be honest with you, the reason he only got 41 months, which is like 3.5 years, the only reason he got 3.5 years in prison is because those people didn't die. Here, we'll keep reading. On April 29th, Brown drove a truck through a Border Patrol checkpoint on I-35 in Texas. A canine unit alerted to the vehicle, which was then referred for a secondary inspection. This is where the trouble starts. You got 98 people in the back of your truck, right? Shh, be quiet, everybody. We're going through, right? Okay. All of a sudden, you get to the checkpoint and you hear, right? What was that? That's the canine. They need a second inspection. So then you get pulled in now. What do you think the sweating and the anxiety level is to a trucker that knows he's got a bunch of illegal people in his trailer, right? When they say, okay, pull over here, we need to reinspect you. Mm-hmm. You know you're screwed at that point, right? Mm-hmm. So it says, according to a news release, law enforcement had to use a metal grinder to unseal the doors and discovered 98 undocumented individuals inside the refrigerated trailer. At least he had a reefer. It says Brown later admitted that he had transported loads of humans for the same organizer on previous occasions. So this dude, man, he's been, I made it a couple times. I just keep doing it, right?
It might have been also why he got less, because he admitted to it and they were able to capture it before.
I don't know. So there's the racket. Okay, Brown pleaded guilty to a charge of conspiracy to transport non-U.S. citizens on June 28th. At the sentencing hearing, the court heard additional testimony that detailed Brown's prior training as a truck driver and whether it assisted him in the smuggling attempt. In handing down the sentence, the court noted Brown was extremely lucky that nobody was injured or killed during the smuggling attempt, as it would have resulted in a much higher sentence. See, I was right. The U.S. Attorney Office said Homeland Security Investigations and Border Patrol conducted the investigation. Guys, I'm telling you, and there's guys out there right now thinking, yeah, man, I've done it 50 times. I get paid really well. Well, I'm telling you, it all it takes is just one little alert, and you're going to prison. Now, this guy's going to prison, but also he's never going to drive it. He's never going to get a CDL again. You may not ever. It's lifetime ban when you get caught in any human smuggling. Mm-hmm. So, guys and gals, crime pays as long as you don't get caught. And then when you get caught, it costs you a lot more than you ever made. It costs you a lot of time. Now, if those people would have died, this guy, there's a guy right now. This happened, like, I'm going to say about 11, 12 years ago, maybe longer, where he had a reefer trailer. I don't know if it ran out of fuel or it just broke. And the guy never paid him. He was waiting on to be paid. And he just left them in the trailer, and like 50 or 60 of them died in the trailer. Literally, you can look this up. This dude's doing like 50 life sentences. He's never getting out of prison. All because he didn't get paid. He wasn't smart enough to open the damn door. Okay, you're not getting paid. So what? Let them out. They're going to die. So you got all those people died. And then on top of it, now you're screwed for life. See, crime is for dummies. Mm-hmm. It really is.
It is.
Some of them think they're smart, but they're not.
It doesn't always pan out because there's always someone that's going to screw up.
And Ruth Ann, that's the world of trucking this week. So the podcast is done for the day. What do you got for me, Ruth Ann, as far as word of the day? And word of the day by
Word Genius.
Word Genius. Word Genius is not a sponsor, but we have adopted Word Genius. They have a great system. Check Word Genius out and download their stuff. It's free. They send you a new word every day, and you guys can get a lot smarter. Maybe if you're a guy committing crime hauling illegals, if you use what's it called? I almost said Load Smart.
Word Genius.
Word Genius. If you use Word Genius, you might get smarter and maybe start trying to make money the right way.
We'll see.
Yeah. Anyways, let's hear it, Ruth Ann.
Spindrift.
Spindrift?
Yep, spindrift.
Spin, just like it sounds.
Spin drift.
That's all right.
Spin drift.
What does spin drift mean?
It means the spray blown from the crest of the waves by the wind. Whoosh.
Really? Let me tell you something. I get hit with them on the boat all the time.
That's a spin drift.
That's a spin drift, huh?
Yep. The wind was so strong that our cants was splashed with spin drift from the huge waves. The blizzard blasted spin drift into my eyes from all angles.
That's crazy.
It's called
Wow.
spin drift.
All right. Well, Ruth Ann, that was good. I think we're out of here.
Peace.
Peace. Praise the Lord.